dear friends, welcome back again. We are so happy you popped over again to see what we are up to today. Of course, for everyone who is new here, welcome. We are Janny and Dyanne, and we hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, of course, we hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone who is here and is not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and tick the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Like we always say, enough talking, let's jump in today's inspiration. And you see already on my table, like we always do in every DIY, we need, of course, our tumbling tile blocks. I have here some paint, but use some paint at your choice. I have here my old saucer with a piece of old kitchen towel, which is wet to wipe away the glue. And I have here my container with my mud pots, my wood glue, my brushes, my twine, everything I need for a DIY. So I always have this with me. So I always have everything on hand. So what we're going to make, today, we're going to go smaller because we can build big, of course, but now it's also see if we can make something which is a lot smaller. So I will see, I never make a lot of things which are very small. So I'm going to try to make a kind of a tractor, but of course with a wagon. So we will see how this will turn out. So we are going to start with the front side of the tractor. We are going to do 3 pieces. And you say tractor. If it's called here in the Netherlands, we call it tractor. So it's the same letters, but it's a little bit, the sounds a little bit different. I also, for a lot of you who don't know, I also do the Dutch word of the day every day in my community posts of all our channels. But then sometimes I wish there was a tool that I could let hear you also the sound of how it is pronounced in Dutch, but YouTube still can't do that. So I'm waiting for the moment that he can. Oh, this one is really has a little bit of a coloring. I don't know how this is possible because these are new blocks. So we are going to make 4 pieces of 3. So we're going to do 1 and of course number 2, and we go number 3 as a closure up. So squeeze it together, squeeze this one. And of course, if you have a metal hook, like I always tell you, just use your metal hook if you like it, but you also can do it very easily with your fingers. You just only have to feel, just to get your piece of kitchen towel, wipe away the glue you don't need. And of course, he is going out of line, but you can still easily redo it again. Just make the straight line again, like this. We're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So I gave it a couple of minutes, and now we're going to get our 4 blocks of 3. We are going to do some glue over here. We place this one on top. We're going to do some glue over here, place this one on top. And we do for the last also this one on top. So we make a nice kind of a square. And of course, be sure it is still not totally dried up, but it doesn't matter. Just squeeze it, press it down, and make sure that you get 1 packet like this. And now we're going to give this at least a half hour. We have the front side of the tractor. What we're going to do, we're going to make again 3 blocks like this. And of course, number 1, number 2, and we're going to place them together again. And we do this again with 3 blocks. Number 1, number 2, and 3 is the closure up. We have a block number 3, and we have the last again, number 4. And this is so easy to make. 1, 2, and again, number 3 is the closure up. We're going to squeeze them again, the same like we did with the front side of the tractor. We're going to do the same. And again, wipe away the glue you don't need. And again, squeeze it in the one line again. Here also, and here. And of course, make sure, feel with your fingers. You can easily feel with your fingers how the line is going. So you don't need something to place it on, but if you like it, you can do anything you like. So I'm going to let this rest in also a couple of minutes again. So again, we gave it a couple of minutes. We do some glue over here, and we do the same like we did with the other one, and place them on top of here. And the last also and place this one this way. And I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, of course, place it on the side and feel with your fingers again. And we're going to let this dry in also a half hour. So in the meantime, while these two are drying, we are going to make already the wheels, because we are going to make the wheels for 3 blocks like this. And why I'm doing it already, because this needs to dry a long time before I can do it with my jigsaw, and or else he will be falling apart, and that's not what we want. So this needs a lot of time drying before you can place your jigsaw inside of it. So I have on the front, I will be having 2 bigger wheels, 2 smaller wheels. So that is already 4 on the tractor, and on the wagon it also will be 4. So we need 8 blocks of 3. And of course, most of the time on the tractor, on the front are 2 smaller ones, and on the back are much bigger ones. So we're going to try to make this also looking like a real one. I don't know if I will succeed or not, but we will see that at the end. And then you can let me know what you think. And if you like a little bit of the smaller DIYs, this is also a nice DIY you can make for your children's room. Maybe you have a son or maybe a girl who loves farm life and likes a tractor. So this is always a DIY you can use for every day. And you also can decorate it yourself, of course. And this is number 2. And number 3 is the closure up again. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And then we already have our 8 wheels. And we're going to place them aside, and we're going to let them rest in. So I can later, I can get my jigsaw and saw it out. And again, squeeze it together until one piece, and this. And we're going to place this aside and let this dry in at least for now. It would be great if you could do it overnight, but of course I don't have the time, so I will leave it a couple of hours. So we will see how this will turn out. So we have our 2 blocks we already made. We're going to lay them this way. Of course you can do it this, but I am liking it this way, and I'm going to glue them together. Just make a little bit of glue in the inside, and we're going to place them together until one big piece. And because you didn't let it dry in totally, because it's only in half hour, you still can move it around so it is fitting totally. So now you have already one piece for the tractor. What we're going to do, we're going to make one of 3. So again, I have already 4, and we're going to do the same. This is a lot of making blocks of 3 in this DIY. And you see where they squeeze it, and we're going to give it a little bit of a rest. And then we're going to place it on the tractor. And while this is drying, we are going to make the roof. And the roof of the tractor is also, again, 3 blocks, because you see already, this is the place where we want to have the place where normally the farmer is sitting. So we're going to make again 3 blocks for the roof, and we're going to let this dry in also the same like we did with the other part. So we have our block like this, the 2 pieces together. We're going to take one of the 3. We're going to do on the back side, we're going to do some glue over here, just make a nice square, and we're going to place this one on top over here. And we're going to give it a little bit time to get into the wood, and we give it only a couple of minutes. So you see, we place now this one on top of here. What we're going to do, we're going to get one of the blocks, we're going to place it in the middle over here. So just do some glue over here and place it in the middle, squeeze it, and if there is glue coming out, get your brush, just a brush, and just wipe away the glue you don't need, because you don't want big pieces of glue coming out. You don't like that. So again, let this dry in. What we're going to do, we have the roof we made earlier from 3 blocks. We are going to get, of course, 1 block, and we're going to place it with a little glue on the underline. So over here, like this, you do simple some glue over here, and you just place it over here. Just squeeze it, and we're going to let this dry in also a couple of minutes. In the meantime, while we have this drying and this is drying, we're going to get our blocks, and we're going to get 4 blocks, 4 loose blocks, and we're going to glue them on top of here. So very easy, just do some glue on the underside, and you're going to place it over here at the ending. You're going to do here the same. Place them on top of here. Give it a little bit of pressure. You do here on this side the same. Squeeze it, and we're going to work in a moment with our fingers if we have everything in place, because this is just a little moment I showed you, but of course we have to redo it, and we're going to make sure and feel with our fingers that we have it in a straight line, because we don't want that everything is sticking out. We're going to go over here, go to the side, and feel with your fingers this way, and I do here the same. Again, make sure that you have it in a straight line, give it a little bit of pressure. And of course, here he is straight, and on the back side also. Now the last side, and he has to go a little bit to the back side. A little, not too much, or else he will fall off. That's not what we want. Over here. And now we're going to give it a couple of, at least a half hour rest, so everything can dry in. So, and you see already, now we have an opening over here and on the front side. And of course, I'm going to take a loose block. I'm going to place it over here, and I'm going to mark, you see, like this. I'm going to place it over here, and I'm going to mark my line over here, so he's fitting inside of this front. And I'm going to make 2 pieces of this for this side, and of course for the front side. So, and of course you can do that a little earlier, but it's always having a little twist if it will fit or not. So I'm going to do it at this time, but if you want to do it earlier, it's also fine too. So I'm going to place this over here, make a little mark over here this way, and I'm going to mark it off, and I'm going to saw it out 2 times. So you see, now I have the 2 same blocks for the front and the back side. What I'm going to do for the underside, I'm going to do some glue on this side and on the both of the endings over here, and I'm going to squeeze it in. Of course, because this is not totally dry, it is possible that one of the blocks is going off, but it doesn't matter. You can easily glue it in again, so don't worry about it. You can do it very easily. So again, of course, I have to work a little bit with it and squeeze it in. Of course, I have to turn it over, and I'm going to do my best to squeeze it in. Of course, it's not really a great thing to do, but it will. Of course, I have to show you also things that are not going right. I'm going to do this one on the back side, because you see already I should have done a little bit more sanding off, but he is going in, and of course he's not really fond of it, but I don't care. He will work like this. So I'm going to squeeze it in, and this, and I show it to you in a moment. Have a little moment for me, so I can show it to you how it is fitting inside. And you see, this, he is inside. I did have to squeeze, because on here he's fitting, he was not fitting on the front side, so he's fitting over here. So I hope that this one is fitting much better inside of here, but we will see. We're just going to squeeze it in. If it wants or not, he will have to go in. So, and something on the underside, and that's DIYing also. Not everything goes smoothly and perfectly, and here with me it's always chaos, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So this one, it goes in a little bit easier than the other one, and of course I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, and I'm going to look for that I have it in a straight line like this. I have to go a little bit into the front, or else he is not totally over here this way. And you see already I have a little open gap over here, but that's just my pencil, so don't worry about it. It looks like it's open, but of course it's just my pencil. I'm going to let this dry in before we go to place the roof. So here is this way. You see already the pencil is still on top of there, but with the paint it will go away. And of course you also can, if you want to do some wax over it, you can sand it off before you wax it, because or else you get spots from your wood glue. But of course I'm really happy how this is looking like. And of course now we're going to place the roof, but we're going to do this one on the front side, so like this over here. So I'm going to do some glue on the tops, over here, on here, and on this one, and this one, and a little on the front sides, just a little drop over here. So also this side is getting a little bit of the glue. And again, we're going to give it a little bit of pressure, feel with our fingers so we have it in a straight line this way. And we're going to give this at least an hour drying. So now we have the base of our tractor. Of course it looks also like a train. You also can do here something on top of here, and you can make it as a train, because that's the hardest. You can a tractor is a little bit like the same, you only make the difference with the wheels. So we will see, and we will try to look like this will be a tractor. So we have to see. We are going to make now the wagon before we're going to make the wheels. So we're going to make 3 blocks, 3, and of course again 3, and here also 3 pieces like this. And we're going to do the sides. So again 4 blocks of 3. Again, place them together, then your glue is not running out, so place them immediately against each other, the blocks, and later you can make them stick together better. But now the glue is not running out. And this is number 2, and number 3 is the closure up again. Squeeze it, squeeze this together, and of course this way we're going to wipe away the glue. Of course you also can place it this way. It's maybe a little bit better to wipe away your glue, and this, and then we're going to make sure that we have a nice square again. Place it together, and we're going to give this also a couple of minutes. Now we have our 4 piece. We're going to do some glue on this one, place 1 on top, we do here some glue, and we place 1 on top over here. And again, give it a little bit of pressure from the above, and then press it down, and this way, and feel with your fingers so you have a nice straight line again. And we're going to give this also a couple of minutes, but in the meantime, while this is drying, we are going to make 2 pieces of 3 extra. So we're going to do some over here on this one. This is already number 1. And we could go for a number 2 also. This will be the front and the back side of the wagon. Again, squeeze it, and we're going to wipe away the glue, and this way. So we're going to let this dry in also a couple of minutes. So now this 2 double is drying. You see already 6 on top of each other, and we have 2 of the ankle with 3. Now we're going to get 2 blocks and 2 blocks, and we just glue them together on the tops. So a little glue over here, and this a glue over here, and squeeze them together, and this way also. And again, give it a couple of minutes a rest before we're going to work with it, because or else it falls immediately apart. So we are going to get our 2 blocks of 6 like this. We're going to do some glue in the middle, so very easy. In the middle, we're going to place them to each other, squeeze it, and let this rest also. What we're going to do, we're going to get 1 of the 3. We're going to get our 2 blocks, place them on the smaller side. We're going to do some glue on one side over here, and we're going to place this one against here and this way, and we're going to do here the same on the top, some glue, and we're going to place it down and on this side, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest to that the glue can suck into the wood. I hope I say it right, but it sounds it sounds really strange, but at least that the glue is getting a little attached to the wood. So I did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. I'm going to place it straight up this way. And if everything is correctly, you have this block of 3 with the 2 ankles on top. And what we're going to do, we're going to get this part. We are going to do some glue. I have to look for where I'm going to glue it this way. Do some glue in the middle and we're going to place it over here at the ending of our block. You see, I hope you can see it very well because I hope I have the right way. Of course, I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure on top because we want to be sure that everything sticks nicely together. Of course, this one has to go a little bit backwards, and I feel with my fingers every time and make sure that everything is not coming on wrong sides out. And we're going to let this rest. And you see already I have some glue in between. I will then wipe it away with my brush in a moment. So if everything is correctly, you have right now this kind of shape. So you have the 3 ankle on here, you have the 2 on each other over here, and you have here the 6 blocks over here. We're going to place it down. We do some glue on the tops, some over here, we do over here, and a little in between. And now we place our last block of 3. We're going to very simply place on top over here, give it a little bit of pressure, and we're going to look for that we have it in the size we want to have it, and just feel around and make sure that everything sticks nicely. And we're going to give this a couple of minutes rest. So if everything is correctly, you have this kind of wagon. Of course, what you also can do, if you have later the wheels on top, you can just make a front over here, and you do this too high, like that. You also can use the wagon separately, because that's a lot of you, and it looks very nice if you do it this way and do on top a little handle. Then you can use your wagon also, and this size is great for having in your tier tray. So if you like something different, maybe a farmhouse style, then you also, this is very nice just to place on your tier tray. So we will see at the end how we will turn out, but this is nice size to work with for if you are a lover of, like me, from trays to tier trays or 3. You can go all the way with it. You can use them separately, and you can use more wagons than 1. You can make 3 for every stage of your tray 1. So you can change them up any way you like. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my squares, and I'm going to make the wheels. So we have here our 8 pieces of 3 blocks we already made a little moment ago. So we did let it dry in. What I'm going to do, because I want to have 2 bigger wheels. This one will be the 2 bigger wheels, but the rest will be smaller wheels. So I have here my little drifted, pot. I don't know how you call it, but this size is very nicely for the smaller wheels. So I'm going to place them on top of here in the middle, and I'm going to go around it with my pencil. And this way, of course, this is not so easy as I thought it would be, because it's not totally round. Just don't do this like I do. Just get a nice round piece. This one is not totally round, but you know already what I mean. This is the small round what I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to do on all 6 of them. I'm going to do this one, and on the 2 I'm going to do the bigger ones. So you see, I made the 6 smaller wheels, and if I turn this a little pot over, then you see already he is very nicely fitting for the bigger wheels. So I have lucky that my pot is running out, so I really can use this one also for the bigger wheels. But of course, go around in your home and you will find something which you can fit inside of here. Just very easy, also the same. Go around and make sure that you have a nice round, as big as you can have it on the wood, because you want to use all the wood there is for your wheels, because this wheel needs to be much bigger. So you see, now I have the wheel totally over the whole piece of wood. So I'm going to get now my jigsaw, and I'm going to saw it out. You see already, before we going to sort my pieces out, I wanted to show you the jigsaw I use. I get a lot of questions about it. So this is the brand I use. I have the Lidl, of course, the home brand is Parkside, and in every country there is, most of the time is a Lidl. So if you can get some and you are not someone who likes to spend a lot of money, because this one is almost 40 euros, it's similar like dollars, and even you can get it much cheaper than that. If you have, sometimes if you have a sale or clearance, you can get it easier, and there are some blades with it. So, and he is so easy to use with. You can easily get it off and place it inside, and especially for ladies like me, which are I have some arthritis in my hand, so I can handle a very heavy one. So, and this I have a lot of pieces from the Parkside brand for my DIYs. So if I can recommend one, I hope you can buy this one too, because he is cheap and he is very handy to work with. So I'm going to saw my pieces out right now, and then you see the little rounds. And here you see my rounds. Of course, they're not perfectly, because it's very hard to saw little pieces. Be careful that you don't saw in your fingers, because this is very small. I have 4 for the wagon, and I have for the tractor, I have 2 bigger ones and 2 smaller ones. But before I'm going to paint everything, I'm going to use my tractor, and I have a piece of dowel like this, just a piece of wood, and I need, of course, a little, here in the Netherlands we call it uitlaat. Of course, I need to have it over here. I think I'm going to cut off a little piece like this, but you can do it as long as you like. So this is what I mean. I just have a pipe you can use for on top. Of course, you don't have to do it. I'm going to paint this one also in the black color, the same as the wheels, and the wheels later will be in the inside with my creamy color, because this is also the color I do my tractor and wagon, but you can choose any color you like. You don't have to do the same like I do. So I'm going to start with the creamy color, and I always love this kind of color. It makes, yeah, it's not too bright, but it gives just a nice pop of color. So I'm doing it very easy. I'm just going to do a little layer, and of course I only do 1 layer. You don't have to do more layers, at least not with this kind of paint. So I'm going to finish this off, but of course I do it a little bit faster. So now I have my tractor and the wagon in the creamy color. I was thinking doing my wheels and my pipe, of course, in the black scuba paint, but I changed my mind. I'm going to do it with some shoe polish, very simple black shoe polish, because then I can still see the wood coming through, and I am really liking that. So I'm going to do all the wheels and the pipes in the black shoe polish. Of course, choose any color you like. Maybe if you like a glam, you can totally spray paint it in the gold or the silver or something else. I'm going to try for this one. We will see if I if I like it or not. So you see already everything is painted, and of course also the wheels are in the shoe polish. And you see already, you still can see the wood coming through, and that's what I like, that is not totally black. What I'm going to do from the same color, the creamy color, I'm going to fill in the middle of the wheels from the bigger ones and of course the smaller ones. You can do it with of course with some marker, you can do it with some paint, you can do it with everything. I'm going to try to do it with some paint. I don't know if I regret it later, but we will see. So I'm going to try to make a nice round, and I'm using this kind of brush. He is a little bit sideways, so I'm going to try very lightly to make a round inside. So I take my time for it, of course. Do it the way you think it's right. So I'm going to, and then you see how the wheels turned out. You see I have here my 4 of my, for the tractor and of course for the wagon. I'm going to let this dry a little moment, and then we're going to glue first the pipe on top of our tractor. Of course I'm going to do some wood glue, and I'm going to place it on this side. Of course I have to look which one is the straightest one. I'm just going to do a little drop, and I'm going to place it over here and this way, and I'm going to let this dry in. So I'm going to get my wagon, and I'm going to lay it on the side on a piece of kitchen paper, because I want not to damage the paint. I'm going to look for two of the same, and I'm going to, oop, you see already, you see already, they are over here, and I'm going to glue one on this side and one on this side. So I do a little drop over here and a little drop over here, and I'm going to place them inside. And of course it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to place this one also over here, and I'll keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried in, and then we're going to turn it over. So now it's very easy. Of course we're going to turn it over, but we're going to place 2 blocks this way, and we're going to lay this part on top of here, so we balance out the height in between the wheels and of course the wagon. So I'm going to turn it over, place the little piece on here, and now we're going to do some glue on this side and of course on this side, and we're going to place one wheel over here and the other wheel over here, and again we try to get them even with the one under here, but you just have to take your time for it. Just watch and look, and get your ruler if you want to, and then measure it out that you have the wheels on the same place. So the last step will be, of course, we have to do the wheels on the tractor. This one is already drying over here. We are going to place it again sideways, place it over here, and of course I should have done as the last step of course the pipe on top, but I already did it before. It's not handy. Don't do it. Just first do the wheels and then do the pipe on top of here, but at the end we will get there. We're going to get the bigger wheel and we're going to look for the smaller wheel. So we have to look for where we want to place, because they have to be on the underside on the same height. So it will be a little bit kind like this. And I'm going to do some glue. Again, the same over here. And we do it over here a little bit high because the wheel is a little bit bigger. And I'm going to place this one on top of here. And we're going to do this one over here. And just give it a little bit of pressure and look for if you have it in a straight line on the underside, or else you have to go the one a little bit bigger, of higher, not bigger, but higher, of course. So you just have to look a little bit for where you want to have it and let it dry in. So I turned it over again and did it, of course, with 2 blocks under it. I have here the bigger wheel and the smaller wheel. And we're going to do the same over here. Do a little bit more glue on this side, because here's the bigger wheel, and here a little bit for the smaller one. And again, we're going to place it over here. This one a little bit more to the inside, over here. And this one will be on this side. And again, a little lower, this way. And this one also over here. So this is, of course, only needs to dry, and if you are, maybe it's wise to do it overnight, that before you're going to stand on top of the wheels, that you have everything dried very nicely. So I would say overnight. So, and that's why you see in a moment, you see the quick impression. It's only a couple of seconds for you. And of course, I almost would forget, I'm going to do my piece on each other. That's really bad English. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take one loose block and I'm going to give it some black shoe polish also with this one. And I'm going to, because I'm going to use this as a hanger for the wagon on the tractor. So I'm going to do this in the black color so they can be attached to each other. So everything is drying right now. Of course, you see now really the quick impression. And here you see finally a quick impression of my Tumbling tile blocks, little tractor and his wagon. Of course, in a moment you will see them together, but now I did them separately on my 2-tier tray and I'm so happy how it turned out. Of course, I hope you took out your tumbly tile blocks too and did this DIY together with me. And if you are only here to watch, I hope you had fun watching again. And if you're new here, of course, I hope you enjoyed what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and of course, click the bell button so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. Enough talking. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.